What up? What up? What up? Make sure y'all hit that share button. Hit the share button. Follow me. Um, you'll find me on Instagram as well. Y'all know where to find me. You can also find me on X. I just opened up X, so you can find me on X too. Let's lock in over there. But let's tap in, man. Today we're gonna really talk about something important, and the important thing we're gonna talk about is never giving up on yourself, and believing in yourself. Because quite frankly, a lot of you are one step away from changing your whole entire life, right? And the only thing that's in your way is you keep telling yourself this story and this narrative, I guess, if that makes sense. So today we're gonna dive into something deep, like, you know what I mean? And this about believing in yourself, about changing the narrative and understanding that you didn't come this far just to come this far, right? So being a son, I met my father for the first time at age 27. I grew up in Deerfield Beach, Miami. So I feel like I've been counted out more times than anybody can imagine. But one thing you have to understand is failure isn't on the menu, right? Like, failure isn't on the menu and quitting isn't on the menu, if that makes any sense. So I guess in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say, quitting is never an option. And we're going to dive into some stuff you can do besides quitting. Like, before you quit, like, I know I have had people quit on football games, quit and making stuff right in relationships. But during this episode, we're going to actually give you some key gems, man. I'm talking some key gems you can use to implement in your daily life and incorporate into your daily life. So that way, when you're feeling like giving up or you're feeling like quitting, you can do these tasks, right? And we're going to dive into that, but this is all about giving yourself some time. And this is about never giving yourself up, right? So, before I dive into it, I want to let you know why giving up isn't an option, right? Why isn't giving up an option? Because what happens is most men, they quit because they feel like struggling means that they're failing. And that's not accurate, right? Most men quit because they feel like when they're struggling, that's a sign that they may be failing. And to be honest, some of y'all think life is supposed to feel good when you're leveling up, but who lied to you? Like, it's a myth to believe that life is supposed to be feeling good. If I'm leveling up, that means life is good. And that's a straight myth. Who lied to you, right? The world doesn't reward the man who almost tried. The world will never reward the man who say, I always tried, right? You have to really put in some actionable steps. So when I played college football, I had a friend, right? And don't get me wrong, he was wide receiver. He wasn't the best, but he was okay, right? And what happened was they threw a pass to him during the game. And I'm talking, man, he got up. And for my people that play football, you know what getting up means. I mean, he got up, air, feet off the ground. I'm talking about caught the ball, tucked it. He jumped so high up in the air that just hitting the ground, I felt it from the sideline, right? And where I'm going at with this story is when he finished that, you can only imagine his excitement when he ran to the sideline. And he ran to the sideline, he all happy, asking me, yo, you see that play? I got up on him. Yeah. Like, I caught the ball. Yeah. You see that was 80 yards? Yeah. I ain't never get that high up in the air to get the rock. Yeah. But the only issue with this is he fumbled. Like, he fumbled the rock. Like, so long story short, like, I get he happy and everything, but short story long, you ain't fully execute, buddy. And I think that's what a lot of men do. They want to get rewarded for putting in half the work without fully executing the plan, if that makes any sense. So, what do you do? Or what do we do instead of giving up? Like, what are some alternatives to quitting? And I think the first one is pausing. A lot of people take that one very lightly, like a pause. And what happens is, what's up? A lot of people do that and they don't even know they're doing it. You ever seen someone get frustrated at a task and doing something and you just watch them pause they just paused, right? You know what I mean? Like, we also have to reevaluate the plan, not the purpose. Ask for help. That ain't a weakness. That's actually intelligence, right? Growing up in the hood, we always said you can't do anything alone. It takes a village. But it's understanding that you did not come this far just to come this far. So you may have to revise the plan. It's not a sign of weakness to ask for help. Many men feel like it's weak asking for help, when in all reality, one of the most intelligent things you can do in your life when trying to achieve your goals is actually ask for help. So that may incorporate you reevaluating the plan, right? Making a couple tweaks here and there, and it's okay. And I think that's why they say failure is never final, because when you have a task that's in front of you and it's time to do something, only one or two things are going to happen. You're either going to do it and complete it, or you're going to either do it and fail at it. But if you do it and you fail at it, it's not a failure, because failure is never final. Now you actually have a lot of information to take back to the drawing board and give it another shot. You ain't going to mess up again. So when I fail at something, it's all good, because I got so much information that I can use, because when I come back and give it another try, it's going to go down. So what information from failure can you use, right, to help you assure that you're not going to fail at the task again, but instead you're going to actually succeed, right? So that's another thing to do, instead of just giving up. And to be quite frankly, like, this is my biggest one. Some of y'all got to shift y'all environments around. Yeah, you got to change some friends, because you ain't the problem. The people in that room are a problem. The room is a problem. Sometimes you ain't even a problem. The room is a problem. So in order to continue believing in yourself, you're going to have to protect your mind. You know, one thing is funny, because people put, alarms on their cars, so the wrong people, intruders, won't break in. People put locks on their doors, so the wrong people won't come in. People put locks on their phones, so the wrong people won't get access, but people never will put a damn lock on their mind, right? Like, you give everybody access to your mind, put a lock on that. And it ain't about you being better than anybody, but instead it's you being better for everybody. In order to achieve your dreams, you're going to have to put a lock on this right here. I get it. You got a lock on the house, the car, a lock on the phone. But what about the lock on your mind? You letting too much people rent space in your mind. Protect your mindset. I think that's the biggest thing, right? So you're going to have to make some calls today to shift some stuff around. And it's cool, because you're headed somewhere and you're on a journey. But sometimes when you're feeling down and out and depressed and in a dump, and you think it's you, it's the people in that room. Who are you surrounding yourself around? And I'm going to say this, and I really don't care if it rubs some people the wrong way, but some of you would rather protect your pride than protect the future. And that's why you're stuck. Some of you would rather protect your pride than protect the future. Like I said, you continuing to accomplish your goals and never quit has nothing to do with you, because it ain't about being better than anybody, but being better for everybody. And everybody includes the next generation coming up, the future, right? Because change begins in the mind, in the message you give yourself. So your mind is the first battlefield, if that makes any sense. Depression, fear, doubt, they don't mean that you're broken. It's just remembering that, okay, my mind is a battlefield. If I can program this, I can do anything. It just means you're human, but you must protect your mind, kind of like your life depends on it. Protect it with everything you got. Put a lock on it, right? Like, what you believe becomes what you do. So every morning I'm starting my morning off with key affirmations, right? You have to believe in yourself more than anybody else believes in you, right? In order for you to achieve your goals, you have to want to achieve your goals more than anybody has ever wanted you to achieve those goals. And that's when things will change. When you allow people to want something more than you want it for yourself, nothing's going to change. And I'm a firm believer, right, that If somebody really want to accomplish something, if somebody really want to get something done, they're going to do it. But that's if they really want to do it. So a lot of people talk about how they want to be millionaire. A lot of people talk about how they want to get a car. A lot of people talk about how they want to get a nice house. Like, if you really want to get that, you're going to do it. And nothing going to stop you, because that's what you want to do. So it's all about programming your mind, right? What you repeat becomes what you believe, right? What you believe becomes what you do, and what you do becomes what? Who you are. What you do becomes who you are. You got to hang around the right people. Don't become people that's not motivated. Don't become people that's not doing anything for the community. Don't become somebody that falls victim to the battlefield. And I talked about this in my speech, Never Give Up. We fighting every single day mentally in order to make it to where we're trying to go, right? If you don't control your thoughts will control you. It's going to happen one way or the other. If you don't control your thoughts, you're going to let them control you. Take control of the battlefield. You are in full control, but you just got to take control. And it's remembering that just because you're down, just because you're out, that's not a reason to quit. And it's also understanding just because you're down and you're out, that doesn't mean you're broken. That doesn't mean you're a failure, right? So those practical tasks that men really use when they're in a depressive state, right? And I'm going to shed some light on that a little bit, but I'm going to give you a couple of things that I use personally. Some things that I use personally when I'm in a depressive state of mind, right? And I know I ain't going to quit, and I know quitting not an option. So I got to do these, because quitting ain't an option. We on the battlefield. I got to put a lock on my mind. Can't be letting anybody in. Can't let any information in. And I got to make sure I'm going in the right rooms, because sometimes it ain't about me. It's the people in the room, right? So one task you can do is just a 5-minute reset, right? What I do in the morning, I just like to sit still, right? No phone, no noise, and ask yourself, what do I need to do right now? What have I been avoiding? Because you have a goal you want to accomplish over here. And there's a whole process from here to here. In between, there's a whole process. Can you be fully committed to the process without being attached to the outcome? Like, can you be fully committed to the process of working hard without being too attached to the outcome? And I ask that because what if you're in the process and you don't at this time achieve the goal, right? You so committed to the outcome, the process is the most important piece. So that's why I like to every morning sit still, no phone, no noise. And I ask myself, what do I need right now that I've been avoiding? Like, I don't care about yesterday and I don't care about tomorrow. All I'm caring about is today. What can I do today? Not tomorrow, not yesterday. What can I do today? Even if it's two things, one thing, what can I do today to get to where I need to be? And that's all I'm focusing on today. That's all I'm focusing on. Another task you can do is the mirror check, right? And I talked about this on a podcast last week. It's tough to do a mirror check. Like, if you do a mirror check, look at yourself in the eyes and you say, I'm not done, I'm not broken, I'm becoming. Like, men hate this. There's a whole thing, especially black men, right? I'm not done, I'm not broken, I'm becoming. Look yourself in the mirror every morning and say that. Because like we said, what you feed your mind is kind of what's going to feed how you move, right? It's going to feed like what stands between you and your outcome in the process. It's going to feed on that, right? So we changing the narrative, and every morning we saying that statement, I'm not done, I'm not broken, I'm becoming, right? Another thing you can do is the 10-step walk. We know black men don't really aren't too fond of therapy, right? But one thing I will tell you, right? A walk with a good friend is cheaper than any therapy session. Like, holler at your homeboy, holler at your dog. Like, a walk with a friend is cheaper than any therapy session. And sometimes that's all it needs, right? And it can be a 10-minute walk, a 10-step walk. But the 10-minute walk, the 10-step walk is when you walk outside for 10 minutes, movement breaks, right? It's just walking and letting your mind go, right? One of my favorites is, I call it the accountability text. Text that one person, I'm struggling today, but I ain't quitting. Do you know how many lives that one text has saved? I'm struggling, but I'm not quitting. Yo, I'm struggling, but I ain't quitting. The power in that, right? But I can only imagine how much lives that one text has actually saved. Like, probably a lot. Another thing I like to do is, you ever wrote a note to yourself? Like write a 60-second note to the man you want to be in 5 years. Mine's right here. You ever did that? Write a 60-second note to the man you want to be in 5 years and hang it up and read it every day, boy. You heard me? Read it every day. Understanding like I ain't come this far just to come this far. I'm pushing these positive affirmations on myself, doing a mirror check. I'm texting my homeboy, yo, I'm struggling, but hey, I ain't quitting, homie. Like I'm doing a little 10-step walk, taking a walks with my homeboy, because I understand that walk, right, is cheaper than any therapy session. It's good for me and my dogs, right? So it's cheaper than any therapy session. You know what I mean? So those are just some couple things, and I probably can think of some more stuff if I keep thinking. But these are things we can do besides quit, besides giving up. Try those. They work for me, and it's understanding they will not work for everybody, right? Your story as proof, right? You know, you're using your personal journey as a mirror, like, you know what I mean, for everyone. You know what I mean? So me, growing up in Florida, taught me survival. Meeting my father for the first time at age 27 actually taught me forgiveness, identity, and resilience. Becoming top 200 motivational speaker in the world taught me purpose. Every obstacle became a chapter. Every obstacle became a chapter. And what happens is a lot of people think every obstacle that they endure or they overcome becomes a cage. And that's the complete opposite. And that's actually a myth. Some of y'all swear your past disqualified you, but nah, it really propelled you, dog. Like your past ain't disqualify you. It actually prepared you, and you're just scared of it. So what happens is a lot of people want to achieve these goals, and when they fail, they just kind of give up. Or you have people that want to achieve goals and they never start by doing the steps to achieve the goal because they're scared and they're in fear. Fear about what people are going to say. We don't care about them, right? Fear about how people are going to look at you, fear of you're going to fail. So this fear of doing this and starting something big, it really creates like the fear of just starting, and it just makes you scared. So what a lot of men do is they don't even pay it no mind. So they drop the goal, drop the purpose, drop the aspiration, drop the process. Why even give it a shot? They don't do it, right? And I'm not going to lie, I used to be like that. I was that person. But my mentor once said, bruh, do it scared. Like if you're scared to put a goal into motion, it's okay to do it scared. Get out of the habit of feeling like you can't do nothing scared. We're going to do it scared because we're going to do it despite my feelings, despite my emotions, despite feeling like I'm going to fail. Sometimes in life, when you're scared of taking the next step or making the next jump, you're going to have to do it scared. So when I first launched the nonprofit back in 2022, I was scared because we was doing the work in 2021. But when COVID and all that stuff started happening in 2022, I was actually scared to actually go register. I was scared to actually tell people about what I'm doing with the nonprofit. I was so scared to do it. And then my mentor said, bruh, do it scared. Like, and if you don't succeed, it's okay. Now you got a lot of information to take back to the drawing board to give it another shot. So do it scared. So fast forward from 2021 to 2026, right? Exactly. Top 200 podcasts in education in 16 countries, right? Top 250 motivational speaker in the whole world, right? Number one podcast speaker in the whole world in self-development, right? And I don't think I would have had any of these accolades or achieved any of this stuff, right, if I didn't do it scared. So I'm here to tell you, it's okay to do it scared. Like, every obstacle that becomes a chapter for you, and it's not a cage. And it's understanding, and it's my favorite quote: "You did not come this far just to come this far, bro. Why come this far just to come this far? You already endured so much pain over here. Like, I'm hurting, bro. I ain't giving up. I done came through too much." So it's understanding that I didn't come this far just to come this far. I can do whatever I put my mind to it. And if I really want to accomplish something, I'm going to do it because I really want to do it. What's going to stop me? Them, fear, self-doubt. Nothing can stop someone that's determined to do something that they really want to do, right? So it's understanding that you didn't come this far just to come this far, right? You're not done, and you're not even close. The world hasn't even seen the best version of you yet. And is that scary? It may be, because you got a lot of people that's banking on your downfall, right? This ain't going to be a journey that's all peaches and cream. You're going to have people out there that's waiting for you to fall. You're going to have people that's waiting for you to fail. You're going to have people that's praying day in and day night that you don't succeed at whatever you succeed by. And those people are going to be family. Those people are going to be friends. Those people are going to be people in your community. So the process isn't going to be a peaches and cream process, but the world hasn't even seen your final form yet. And let me tell you something, like, you may not know it, but you're actually the best at what you do. Like, you're the best in the world at what you do. It ain't your fault the world hasn't caught on to that yet. Like, I'm the best at what I do. The world just has yet to figure it out. And the same goes for you. You're the best at what you do. It's not your fault that the world hasn't figured it out. So before I end this podcast episode, make sure you make a promise to yourself, right? That you will never give up on you. Like, I want you to repeat that to yourself. I would never give up on me. It's me versus me, not me versus them. It's me versus me. Today, can I be better than I was yesterday? And if I feel I am better or one step ahead than I was yesterday, how do I know that? How do I know that? Because what's happened is a lot of people really ain't got no motion. They just running in place. And yeah, both of them motion, but they just running in place. No movement, just arms pumping while you pumping and you moving. A lot of people in life got motion, but they ain't got no real motion. They just running in place. They ain't moving nowhere. Listen, man, check out the podcast. You didn't come this far just to come this far. I really thank everyone here. We are 2 subscribers away from that 1,000 mark. So make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, and make sure y'all go check out all the motivational videos. Like I said, we ain't come this far just to come this far. Thank you for tuning in to the podcast, man. And let's do it, bro. Like, let's do it. I need you to take everything in here. Do it. Don't be scared. And if you're scared, do it scared. You ain't come this far just to come this far.